on. Alright. Alrighty. This video. So, I released a video a couple years ago about running shop electrical. And so, I mean, like half the comments were like, it's not to code, you know. And listen, I understand how code works. I know why it exists. Some of it I don't necessarily agree with. Does that make me right? Probably not. Do I care? No. Is this a code installation? No. Is this me installing some electrical in my shop? Yes. I probably won't name it how to, because that was part of the flack, was like, so many people were so bent over this is not how you do electrical, you know, and so so man, I'll just repeat it one more time. This is not a code installation. I'm not an electrician, and this is me putting a light switch in to control some outlets. So I ran romex, I think it's called NM cable, in conduit. And I'm not sure, I'm sure I'll get corrected, but I think you can do that if you do it properly. I'm pretty sure that you can run NM cable inside a conduit and let the comments commence. But that's what I did, so I'll show you guys what I did so far. Dang, I was on wide the whole time. So the cable comes in from up there. Again, that's technically... that would be like a ceiling cavity, so I don't know. I'm sure I should have put some kind of end connector on that elbow with non-scuffy, you know, end. Don't care. So basically what I wanted was convenience outlets for the counter. So I've got double duplex boxes, or I don't know what you call them, quad boxes. So I've got 4 outlets there, 4 outlets there, and 4 outlets there. And they're all convenience outlets. I've got them on I think it's a 20 amp circuit. And I think I'm running 12 too. Let me go see. Yeah, 12 too. So in my infinite wisdom last night, I went and bought some of these tough lights from, make sure you guys are up high enough. I bought some LEDs from Walmart, and I'm going to put them above the bench. And in my infinite wisdom, because I was tired last night and ran to Lowe's, I put an outlet up there and it's always on. So the lights would always be on. So I need to install a light switch. And I got flamed last time for using these handy boxes. Why? People just lost their friggin' mind. And I get it. I understand that as an electrician, you by law have to install something by code. And I understand that it's reasonable to install something to code, that it's safety. I get it. You know, go do your job, do it great, let's install stuff to code. So, gosh, I can't believe this video has been that much about that. So, sorry guys. To those of you who are watching this to like wire up a handy box with a light switch, I'm sorry. I got flamed so bad last time over it. So, so this is the switch up here that I installed the boxes I installed last night. And I want to, the lights are going to go like right here. And then there's going to be another one out here on this stud. And so I just want to get extra light on the bench here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to install a light switch right there. So probably the easiest thing to do is, you know what? Alright guys, so I have you on the tripod back there. I know we're not up close, but I'm hoping it gives you guys a better field of view, and I can talk to the camera instead of pointing at the wall. So first thing we're going to do is get that box loose, probably go kill the power, and I think I want the light switch like Yeah, like right there, you know, just above the outlet. So we'll probably just go, I don't know, a little more than fitting to fitting. So we'll get that thing out, get the power turned off, and move forward. Alright guys, so one of the things I wish I would have done, let me get out of wide mode. On this box, I wish that I would have pigtailed out the grounds better. So there's a lot of grounds going into that wire nut, and I'm sure I should have used a green one, but the box is grounded here, and then of course it's grounded to itself to the conduit. So, sorry about the shakiness. These two wire nuts pigtail this in, and so since I need to add the switch here, I'm actually just going to pull that whole run up, run that out to the box, and then add a run down. So I'm going to take these wire nuts off and pull this wire out. So up there I didn't disconnect anything, I just disconnected the box so I can pull it out. And I'm going to do all my makeup down here and then put a length of wire in to go back to that box. So let me get you guys back on the tripod. All right. Okay. Now, the only bad thing about doing this is that I've got to cut this conduit off without nicking the cable. And I'm guessing there's electrician-specific tools to do it. I don't have them, so I'm probably going to either use a hacksaw and just work my way around it till it just barely breaks through, and I'll hold the cable down the opposite direction. I thought about using a die grinder, but I don't think I can control how much it plunges into the conduit, so I'll put it in the vise and hacksaw off the piece I want, and just make sure I don't hit the cable inside. You know, take my time. There's no rush here, so be back in a second. All right, to get the exact height I want, I'm going to go ahead and pull these knockouts off and throw in these conduit fittings so that I can judge how much of the conduit to cut. Now, in the past, I've bought an aluminum. It's always been cast. It's always been cast aluminum, and these were steel, which I like it. I like that the gee, Christmas, if I could get this stupid thing threaded in. What's going on here? I like that the screw doesn't strip out as easily, especially if you go in, you know, if you tighten it and loosen it a couple of times. On the aluminum ones, sometimes they strip out, and so it seems like these are, the heck? Seems like these are less or more tolerant of in and out a couple times. So there's one, and I'll get the other one on here. And this is just an effort to put the pencil mark in the correct place, right? So I'm going to get this up about where I want it, and throw a pencil mark on it. Make sure that these screws point forward like that. And I'm just going to pencil mark where I want to cut this conduit off at, so I get the correct height. So I'm going to set it about where it was. I'm going to put this up there, and I'm going to pencil where I want to cut it. And now I'm going to go cut it. Alright guys, so I scored it all the way around, broke nice and easy, didn't hit the cable. Now what you're left with is razor sharp pieces. So obviously the easiest thing to do, and exactly what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go get a piece of sandpaper and scuff this down until there's no sharp edges, because I don't want to cut this for sure. So, you know, common sense. I'm going to go grab a piece of sandpaper, knock all those sharp edges off, and we'll be back at it. Alright, turns out that half round file was quicker and easier. So if you've got sandpaper, I'm sure that'd work too, but this file ended up doing a much faster job. It's half round, full rounded work, I'm sure. So got this cut down, gonna get the handy box slid on, and gonna have a whole bunch of extra wire sticking out, and then we'll cut our other piece and get that cleaned up for the other part of the makeup. So I'll be back here in just a second. We're gonna get this all attached here. Alright, I don't know why I wouldn't switch to wide mode. So you'll have to figure out how to cut that to size. I just held it up and marked it. This was the first one I made and it was too short. So I made one another, I don't know, ½ inch longer or something, or ½ inch longer. So this is too long. I'm going to cut this down to about, I don't know, there. That might have been a little short. And then I'm probably going to be able to just use these to make up the rest. Gonna cut my sheathing here and then make a nick in it so it'll pull off. And I have found, I'm sure by design, that the front of this nose makes an exact fit for this light switch, or for the outlets. So first I'll take, like, I don't know, just a touch over 1 inch off of the sheathing. That's probably a little long, but come on. That's about how much I'm taking off. I'll hold my thumb up there as an example. Let's see, light switches. So power's gonna come in and go by with black. We're gonna go by on that, and we're gonna go 2 with white, and these screw in up. So we'll grab a hold of this on the first little tooth and bend it over, and that exactly fits. And then we're going to straighten out this length of wire here. Strip off another end. Bend it. Since this is a run, doesn't matter which way you bend it because you can stick it in the way you want. So this is going to go up. So I'm going to switch the neutral. And I'm going to snug those up with a flathead once I get them down with the impact gun. I would imagine if you get real good engagement with an impact gun, you can strip those out. So use your own discretion there. Make sure they're tight. Take this and run it down to the next box. Is it long enough? Yeah, it's questionable. So black goes through, ground goes through. Do I have enough wire nuts? Probably not. I overstripped that for a wire nut. I'm going to take a little bit off. Now, I haven't done wiring in a while, so if this is wrong, you guys will get a good kick out of it. I think this is right. Okay. This goes through, down to the next box. Come on. And just bend that up out of the road and tuck it over here on this side. Same thing with the ground. Now I could go look them up, but I don't know all the electrical rules, so I don't know if your wire nuts for grounding have to be green or not. I have them, the pass-through green ones. I'm just too lazy to go grab them. Excuse me. I'm probably going to chuck that wire nut. I overexpanded that. Normally I would put like red on black and white, these kind of tan ones on neutral and green on ground, but I just am not feeling it today. Okay, that's gonna pass through just like black. Get that down in the next box. Should be enough room over on this side of the switch. Make sure these are over here. Let's see what's next. Probably throw a screw in the back of that. Should have done that first. Where I just saw screws. Hold on, guys. Alright, give you guys a little different angle here. I'm going to just fasten this handy box to the back. Oh, and the electricians will know that are watching. They'll know that they'll know this handy box is a different. Wait, I want to make sure this is level. Yeah, that's good enough. I didn't nick that black wire just then. That's good. So the electricians will know that the distance to the center line on the handy box is a little deeper than these shallow boxes that I bought. So this connection here is a little bit kinked outward, but it'll work, you know. Go, go. Go, go, gadget. is it doing that? Ah, that's awesome. It's hitting the couplers. What do I do here? Do I got shallower screws somewhere? I do. I'm going to solve it a really stupid way, and that is to do that. Oh man, that one's toast. That one's toast, dog. Yes. Okay. What do we do now, folks? Dang it. All the stupid ass things. So, in my infinite wisdom, I broke the head off, which isn't a huge deal. I just got to get this out. Maybe with a smaller set of pliers here. Alright, and then I got to bend that tab back, because, again, super wisdom. Alright, now I got to go grab another screw. Okay, so, make sure you guys can see me. How do I do that? Okay, we'll call that good. So, we'll talk about infill for just a second. Using those shallow boxes, I wouldn't say is a mistake. Just be prepared to really tuck wire nuts, you know, along an edge or across the top. I've got 1, 2, 3 feeds coming into that box and 2 outlets, so that's 5 total. So I've got the feed coming in going to the outlet. I've got that outlet jumpered to the other outlet. So the only wire nuts I have are tying one of the outlets out to the feed going up, and one, let's see, hold on. So I've got one of the outlets going to a wire nut. That wire nut's feeding the run up, and the wire nut also feeds the run that jumpers over to the other outlet, and then that outlet goes out. And you can do it a couple of different ways, but I tried to use the outlets to use up some of the incoming wires. It's way overfilled. I'm sure electricians would go crazy. I'm betting there's a law there's a rule about fill. On the wire nuts, for ground, I found that about 4 wires is all you can get in a wire nut. And the wire nut sizes are based, I think, on color. These are white, and 4 is about the max grounds you can get. In fact, when I was pulling on them, I kept having one that would pull out, and so you really have to kind of push in on each of them to get them to start. So I got 4 wire nuts per 4 grounds per wire nut. So I've got a total of 8 ground wires in there, 4 on one wire nut, 4 on another, and they feed all the runs, and one's tagged to the box, and they're all tagged to the outlets. Blah blah blah. So I just realized on my light switch I didn't ground my light switch. I gotta do that. Is there a ground? on the light switch. Oh, the light. Never mind, the light switch doesn't have a ground. So, I'll show you guys that. So you can see that the box is way over full. You can see there's a wire nut on the bottom down there, and then there's a ground nut there, and then 3 here, and oops, sorry, 3 back there on the neutral. So over full, should have got deeper boxes, not worried about it. So our next step is buttoning this up, making sure it'll push in without really crushing anything. Gonna go ahead and get these in. That is one full box. I am going to go turn the power on and see if something shorts out. Oh, you know what we'll do? I've got one of these tough lights all taken apart. But I wanted to see how it worked. We'll plug it in and see if it turns on. Charger. Alright, so let's see if this light switch works. Hey, look at that. Yay! So, excuse me. Last thing we're gonna do is put the handy dandy cover on. Okay, straighten that out a teeny bit. Boy, that does wonders to the phone. So yeah, oh, real quick, this will be something that'll drive the electricians crazy. I had to go around this post and I didn't want to cut it out, so I used this shiplap to go around it, and there's exposed romex here. I'm gonna make some kind of cover for that, a metal cover, so you can't get to it, but the chances of like working on something on the bench and then like is pretty low. So we'll get that fixed, and hope this helps someone. This would be another one of my shop wiring series. I know the other ones were pretty janky. This one's a little less janky. So you know, guys, I always do these videos to hopefully help someone, and I hope that's what this one does too. Talk to you guys later. Bye.